Hi, everybody. I am delighted to be sitting across from, in virtual space, Sam Villa. And Sam, as many of us know, is an industry icon, truly deserves that moniker. He's the Redken Global Artistic Ambassador. Sam is a recipient of the North American Hairstyling Awards Lifetime Achievement Award. He's the co-founder of Sam Villa, the line of tools. But we're talking to Sam right now about something that is very pressing and current, which is a event he is pulling together hairdressers, his friends, for a full day of education and inspiration. It's taking place on Sunday, May 17th, and it's going to benefit the PBA COVID-19 Relief Fund. So Sam, after that that long introduction, only because I wanted to get all those details in, I'd love for you to talk to us about the Socialathon, the what is it and the why of it.
Well, thanks for asking, Ann. And first of all, thank you, Modern Salon, for giving me this opportunity to share. And at the same time, if you're not following Modern Salon, my question is, what are you waiting for? Make sure you follow them and you subscribe to Modern Salon digitally. But here's what it is, guys. I think that we all right now are navigating ourselves through this crisis. And I don't know about you, but for me, day to day, week to week, my belief systems change and my standards are changing. And I'll talk about that a little bit. But over the 40 years that I've been a hairdresser, the salon industry has been one of the hardest hit during this pandemic. And I believe that there's hairdressers out that are out of work. Obviously, there's many that are struggling financially, which have contacted me personally saying, Sam, I'm not going to be able to open my salon. I just can't go back and do it. I'm going to lose it. So where can I send my stylist to work? To an Allvus salon that is going to be opening. So they're struggling financially. And I think that it's more important right now. It's an economic and life story right now that needs to be told. And I think it's important because the hairdresser is being missed. And I really believe that the hairdresser has so much value that we offer because I know the consumers out there are missing their hairdresser. So what I thought about doing was I grew up with Jerry Lewis in the telethon. And my parents always had us watching that Labor Day. And I just woke up and one morning thinking, how can I help hairdressers? You know, we did The Show Must Go On, which was a show that we did in place of America's Beauty Show. When I found out that was canceled, I told my team, it's not about sales. It's about helping people grow. It's about giving them education. So we're going to do a 2-day show. And they said, well, how are we going to do that? I said, we're going to go virtual. We're going to do it digital. And we found the right platform to do it in. And we did 2 days nonstop, just rotating the Sam Villa art team in and myself and Andrew. And it was amazing. And we weren't even intending sales. I told them the sales is secondary, education is first. But we did great all the way around. The amount of people that watched it, the amount of people that felt it, the gratitude. And we really pushed a button there that we felt was something that was going to start to happen. But I also wanted to donate a lot of our sales, a certain percentage of our sales, to the PBA COVID-19 Relief Fund, because I know friends out there that are suffering right now. So that was the start of it. Then the next idea was, and you're going to think I'm crazy, Ann, I told my team, I want to do a 24-hour marathon. And they said, what? I said, I want to do hair by myself for 24 hours. And I want to go nonstop education. And I believe I could do it. But my team talked me out of it. And I thought, okay, well, let's do a telethon. Let's do like a telethon, Jerry Lewis. And they go, what do you mean? I go, let's call it a socialathon, which is, let me reach out to all of my friends, ask them if they'd like to participate and do a 30-minute segment. And then we would go nonstop. And it was amazing in the reception. When I was speaking to these people, I called them up personally and spoke to them on the phone and said, I want to do this, and here's what it is. It's one full day of each person getting on for 30 minutes and doing some hair. Some people are going to talk motivation, and like Tabitha Coffey will talk about going back to salon and business relations. And it's all continuous one day, and it is all donation. So all they have to do is push the donate button on Facebook and the donate button on YouTube, and they can donate whatever they would like, whatever they can afford, and that goes directly to the PBA COVID-19 Relief Fund. I told my people I don't want to see the money, I don't want us touching it, I want it to go directly there. So once I started one person, I went to another, and it just kept growing. Matter of fact, I have a lineup of people that want to get involved, and I don't want to make this a 24-hour thing. I just want to make it a good quality 12 hours and raise as much money that we can. So I've gathered people that have been mentors to me, people that are friends, people that are icons in this industry, and we're going to do it for 12 hours, and all that money will be raised for hairdressers across the country. So it's all about, you know, let's save our salons. And that's what the Socialathon is all about. And we're very excited about it. And the press we're getting is just overwhelming. I mean, it's incredible what's happening. So right now we're talking to TV stations, possibility that the Today Show might pick it up. So it's just overwhelming. And I really am doing this because the industry is being, how can I say this? Politically correct. The industry's being ignored. You know, I think it's being ignored in a way where, what about us? What about us, Sam? What about us? And yes, I agree. Yet, what's so important is we have to do it socially right. So what I mean by that is some people are saying, you know, Sam, don't promote opening salons until they give us the okay. Listen, here's what I promote. As I said, my standards have changed in the last 6 weeks. My goal is to put a smile on everybody's face and get positivity out there. So like I posted, okay, here's an idea if you need to make money. Put some home color kits together. And I got lambasted on social for that, saying that. How dare you give them that home? I go, hold on, people, time out. There are some of your colleagues out there that need to make money so they can put some food on the table for their families. So please think before you start to just get down on me for what I'm doing. Yes, it's against my standards. I agree with what you're saying, but there could be somebody out there, a consumer, that wakes up, looks herself in the mirror, and she's in tears because her in-law or a family member just died because of COVID-19, and now she can't even look at herself in the mirror because of what she sees. And if I can give her a color kit that's going to make her feel good about herself, thumbs up. Because if somebody needs a smile, I'm going to share mine. And if that puts a smile on somebody's face, that's what's most important. If it helps somebody survive, who cares right now about the standards? Because guess what, my friends? When you get back to the salon, the standards, it's going to be a new business. It's going to be reimagined, reinvented again. You'll figure that out as you go along. Let me give you a helpful tip. Have any of you, a helpful hint, have any of you put on gloves yet and tried to emulsify product and put it on hair? It's not comfortable. So Sam, do you have a hot tip we can do? Yes. Take the product, take a cap, take the product out, put it in the cap, melt it with a blow dryer. Now pick it up, put it in the gloves, it emulsifies even, and you get even application. See, these are the ways you need to think out of the box. You need to think about, how about this? Have your team wear the same pair of shoes every day to work. Why? Because of what I've heard, that you can carry it in the house based on feet. So guess what, salon owner? That shows genuine concern for your team. And then I would recommend have a makeover day. So you have 10 stylists. So you get all 10 in there and you do make over each other's hair. You talk about all the live education you saw, share it with each other, but then you talk about your protocol. All right, let's tape off the chairs. Let's tape off our safety zones. All right, let's put up our things. Okay, how are you feeling, Susie Q, stylist? I'm not feeling good. Okay, what can we do to make you feel good? So you get your team involved in terms of setting up that protocol. Salon owner, don't do it yourself because the teams are just going to come in there and they're going to fight you with it. But if you get them involved with it and have a makeover day and you talk about their experiences, how they're feeling, you talk about how they feel they can make it work in the salon. You talk to them and say, if it's okay if you don't want to come back to work, that's okay. Talk about if you got 20 people in there, hairdressers are going to want to come back to work because they need probably to make money. But they've been sitting or not doing standing 10, 12-hour days like they normally do. So please don't make them come back and work 5 days, 10, 12-hour days because they want to get their client back. I'd recommend you, there's team A and team B, and you split shift. So team A comes in, they work two days, 12-hour days, because that's what they want to do. They're going to feel good because they see, wow, I made some money. Because let's face it, your income is going to go down. Be ready, guys. I'm sorry to be the breaker of bad news, but it's going to go down. Tips are going to go up. Tips will go up. But your revenue in terms of service dollars is going to go down. It's not going to be what you're used to. But can you imagine, Ann, if they work a 12-hour day and they see a good number at the end of the day, they're going to walk out of there feeling good. But they work 2 days in a row, then they get 2 days off. 2 days back on, 12-hour days, 2 days off. Why? So what you're doing is you're just getting them to wean themselves back to those long hours and not make it, because they're going to want to come back in 5, 6. I guarantee some of them are saying they're going to work 7 hours, 24/7. Sorry, don't push yourself like that. Your quality of work will suffer. Your mindset will suffer. A beautiful day begins with a beautiful mindset. So that's how you have to begin it. And you'll begin that if you're feeling good within yourself. So there's a lot of reasons why I'm trying to do what I'm doing. There's a lot of reasons why I'm trying to say the things and be the voice that I'm being. You know, when this happened, Ann, one of the things I did was I sat my wife down and said, okay, I needed to stabilize my home. You know, what am I going to do? Stabilize my home environment. What's our policies? What's our procedures? What are the do's? What are the don'ts? We're going to my son's going to learn to wash his hands singing happy birthday twice. Now he sings ABCs twice to wash his hands. We never did that before. My wife is medically endangered, her immune system. So I go out, I'm the point person. I go out, I come back, I strip down, I shower, I do all that. So we had policies. Then I told her, take out your phone. And she's like, what? I said, take out your phone. Let's go through our apps and delete the apps we don't need. Well, guess what? After we did that, Ann, we discovered we saved $200 a month on apps. So then I shared that in some of my lives with some salons and said, have your team sit down with their family, with their 3 kids, their 3 teenagers, and now go through your apps. The salon owner called me back. He goes, you wouldn't believe this. One stylist came back and said she and her husband found that they were spending $1,000 more on apps that they didn't need. Wow. And that's because the kids had these apps. So they made them delete them. You see, this is the thinking out of the norm and thinking out of the box. And when you get back, you got to think about those gloves. Latex gloves are not going to work. Your hands are going to get sweaty. They're too heavy. They're great for the color, but they're not going to work all the time. So you got to figure out what glove. Drop down a size smaller in your hand so it fits tighter. Then when you cut, and excuse me for saying what I'm about to say, Ann, but one of the comments I'm getting is, Sam, I can't cut with gloves. That's right. You can't. So, but you need to wear gloves. So take one of those finger condoms, is what I call it. Excuse me, Ann. But when I cut my hand, I would put a Band-Aid, then I put that on and put that on. You're going to put one on your index and one on your middle finger. And now you're going to point cut. You're no longer going to cut like this because you'll keep cutting the glove and cutting it. But you're going to point cut so that you don't. Because when you point cut, you don't cut your finger. So you see, things change. We have to be willing and open to those changes. You know, it's just the idea that my hope, Ann, through this whole thing, is that when we come out on the other side of this wall, that there are no borders between employers, employees, independent, renters, session stylists, platform artists, educators. We're all one beauty industry, and that we support each other. No one, I'm a session stylist, I'm this, no, you know what? You're a hairdresser. You just do it a little bit differently. You choose to walk down a different avenue than I do, but I support you. I hope you support me. I'm not better than you, and you're not better than me. You know, that's my hope, because there's a wall in front of everybody, and we're all trying to figure out how we're going to get over it, how we're going to get around it, how we're going to get under it. You're going to figure that out. My question is to you, what kind of person are you going to come out as on the other side? I guarantee it's going to be different, but I ask you to ask yourself, what kind of person are you going to come out? Push your reset button. I pushed mine. What do you mean, Sam? I push my reset button as an educator. I'm going to be a different educator when I get back out there. I push my reset button on my voice. I'm going to have a different voice when I get back out. I push my button on my attitude, my personality as a husband, as a father. I think these things are so, so important. And it's really created a sense of awakening. You know, it's like, I don't know about you, but I've discovered I've taken so many things for granted. You know, like an ice cold draft beer, you know, or just going out to eat. So, and those clients, thinking about those clients, you know, you're going to treat them a little bit differently in terms of what you're doing.
So, Sam, there's so many great things in there. And, you know, you talked about the concern about the industry being ignored, the concern about infighting within the industry.
Yes.
No borders anymore within the industry afterwards. And those things would support each other, that the industry would be less ignored if we were more united and we're sort of speaking with one voice. When you talked about a reset, when you come out of this, how is your past and what you've gone through as a hairdresser in the past? Because you know, your trajectory, no one's trajectory is like this all the time. We all have our ups and downs. How has that sort of informed where you are today? And do you have advice for hairdressers who are saying, you know, I'm just not sure, I'm not sure I can make it in this new environment. What should I be doing to be ready to come back in mentally, as well as, you know, you talked about some really practical things like emulsifying or practicing your cutting with the finger condoms, which I love that term. But what are some soft skills, hard skills that they could be working on? And speaking from your experience, kind of what has worked for you?
Well, first of all, those are all great questions, and I'm going to go after each one of them. First of all, this is going for salons that don't pre-book. Well, guess what? Now you're pre-booking. Now you're pre-booking. So a lot of stylists out there didn't believe in pre-booking. Well, now you don't have a choice. You need to pre-book. Why? Because time is going to be the issue. If you want to make time, you're going to have to figure it out how you can find express color services. You can find easier ways to get to the end result in a haircut, because time will be an issue because you're going to want to get all those clients in. So you see, that's promoting change in a stylist in terms of their skills, their hard skills, their soft skills in terms of working virtually. If you're not doing virtual consultations, which we've been talking about for the last year, now I recommend you do it. I highly recommend you do it. Why? Because with a virtual consultation, if I call the clients up for, you know, I work 2 days, you do this 2 days in advance. So today's Thursday, you're calling Saturday's clients. You already called Fridays. You're calling Saturday's clients by FaceTime, and you're having your virtual consultations. And then what you're doing is so that when you have that consultation, they come in, you're ready to go. You get working right away. Instead of sitting at the chair and talking for 10, 15 minutes about their experience with COVID-19, and now what are we going to do with your hair? You just ate up 15 minutes of valuable time. Time now, I've always had a kind of a different opinion about this, Ann, but time now is money. So you got to figure that out. And another way is soft skills is protocol. You need to set up a protocol video, and that protocol video needs to go out to all your clients. You will be wearing a mask all times in the salon. Your hands will be sanitized at the front desk. You will be answering a questionnaire. Your temperature will be taken, and you will sign a waiver. Now that signing a waiver, check into a lawyer, state to state, that could differ. I'm not a lawyer, but what I am trying to do, ask yourself to do, is protect yourself and have your stylists, salon owners, sign a waiver. So they're not going to come back to you and blame it on you why they got COVID-19 because of sanitation, etc. Things like that. See, those are the skills that if you weren't doing them before, I suggest you start to adopt them. In that protocol video, one salon that I discovered, Ann, which I thought was so smart, they're making each stylist do a blow dry video for each client. So if you're my client and I sent you a blow dry video, how to blow dry your hair, and you're coming in with your hair dry, and I'm dry cutting your hair. Why? Time. Guess what? You also educated the client how to blow dry their hair. Have you ever really taken that time? Now they got a video forever that they have. You see, you're making different connections. It's like cultivate new connections as you're going through this whole process. And I'm talking about cultivating new connections with your clients, your existing clients. The other thing is in terms of, those people, well, I don't know if I can go and work like this. Excuse me. Focus on how you can versus why you can't. So you need to change your mindset. You remember that first haircut where you said, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if the client, and guess what? Now look you can cut with your eyes closed. It's the same thing. You're going to get through this. It's going to be bumpy, up and down, up and down. If you only knew how many up and downs I've had in my career. Everybody thinks I'm a genius. Everybody thinks I'm a rock star. I'm not. I'm a hairdresser who's proud to be a teacher. I'm your messenger. I research. I didn't invent anything. I research. Then I break it down, make it simple, and I pass it on to you. So I'm a teacher. So now you have to go back behind that chair and be a different hairdresser.
Yeah.
Reset your communication skills. Reset your skill sets. Like I just mentioned, color express services, and I'm not a colorist, but I've discovered these in terms of what colorists are discovering. I've been trying to put cuts out there that are helping to save you time to get an end result quicker. You see, you've been watching all this live education. I challenge you to go back to salon and use it now. I challenge you to not go back to salon and be the same hairdresser that you were before. Because if you're going to do that, it's not going to work. So now the question I got on that end, well, wait a minute, Sam. So what if my client says to me, wait a minute, you're having me blow dry it? Are you going to discount me? Give me a discount? Sorry, no. Your blow dry was always free. It was always free. You're paying for me for the talent of, yes, cutting and blow drying, but the blow dry was always included in your cut price. So it was free. But what I am doing is teaching you higher maintenance now on how to take care of it just by that simple video. Stylists say, well, you mean I have to do a video for every client? This is what I'm talking about. You want to move forward? You want to continue to be successful in the new world? Then I would suggest that. I really would, because guess what? When the client gets that video, they're going to go, wow, Sam wants me to blow dry my hair. Wow, this is good. Okay, great. I got a video to learn how to do it. And he wants to do it so that he's not blow drying the COVID virus around the salon. Of course, I'm going to blow dry my hair. You see, there's a reason for it, not just the time factor. But a lot of salons are like scared of doing blow dries because they've heard that it sits in here. We've heard that. It sits there. I don't know how long. I'm not a doctor. That's my disclaimer. But it sits there. But some clients are going to be concerned about that. Yeah. I highly recommend a shield at the shampoo bowl, a face shield at the shampoo bowl. After they shampoo it, it goes back up on the bowl, and your sanitizer person, that's right, your sanitizer person comes back. Clients see the bowl being sanitized, the face mask is sanitized, the chair was sanitized. They visually saw that, and now they're like, wow, I'm safe here. This is what I mean. What's socially right for your salon? I can't tell you that. You need to figure that out. I would have 2 sets of tools. I'm not trying to sell you tools here, but I would have 2 sets of tools. Why, Sam? I'm working on client A. As soon as I'm done, I take out my new tray for client B, and my A tray is being cleaned by the sanitizing person. Right. Mesh bags, the lingerie bags that your ladies use for the laundry, all the combs go in there after every client. The brushes, as you're working, boom, it goes in that mesh bag. Now the sanitized person comes behind you when you're done, takes that mesh bag, takes it to the big bucket of Barbicide. Poof, your mesh bag sits in there for 10 minutes, and now you got your new mesh bag, just like the dentist does. You're opening it up. It just came out of sanitation. See, this is what I call new business practices. That's your safe zone. Clients see that, guess what they're going to do? They're going to go out and they're going to say, you got to go to the salon I go to. They are extremely, extremely over sanitizing. They're very safe.
You're right. You're right. That kind of comfort and confidence that clients already had in you now needs to just sort of be re-emphasized because you are you're reinforcing that connection, because this has been hard on everybody. And you touched on so many things, and I'm so grateful for all your time. Before I let you go, is there any parting words you want to share?
Yes, I want everybody to know, look, you may be in a different boat. And, you know, I've been reading, but we're in the same industry. We're all in the same industry. So all I ask you out there is to be kind to each other. It's so important that people need positivity now, not negativity. It's like, if I cannot control what my neighbor's going to do. I can't control that. I can only control my house. I can't control yesterday. I cannot control tomorrow. I can only control today. But what I want you to do is understand that social media has become huge in the world today in terms of how we communicate. But what I ask is that we communicate with kindness. So think before you post. I read a great book, Think Before You Speak, by H.A. Blaine. And he talked about the word think, and he put it in an acronym. Just do that now for me as an exercise. Write think vertically. T-H-I-N-K vertically. And then he said, and I turned it around, I said, before you push the post button, I want you to think about what you're about to post. Is it true? Or are you just making it up to get followers? Are you just making it up to be smart? Is it factual? H, is it really happening? Or once again, are you creating something just to get something happen? Are you just creating noise to make noise? I, is it inspiring? Ask yourself and read it. What you're about to post, is it inspiring? Is it an inspiring message? N, is it necessary? Is it really necessary what you're saying? Or once again, are you just trying to get some likes and get some numbers? And then K, and most important to me, is it kind? What you're about to post, is it kind? That's what the industry needs right now, is everybody just thinking about what's socially right for them, and then everybody thinking about using social media in our industry with each other as a way to create positivity.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you. That is a beautiful message. It's just what we need right now and going forward. I mean, if we're all hitting reset, you know, let's hit reset this way.
Sorry, Ann, go ahead.
No, you finish. You finish.
No, just overprotect versus overact. So, overprotect versus overact. Don't overact to everything. I'm more concerned about everybody really doing things the right way that's socially right for them in terms of health. That's most important. So if your salon owner wants to open up and you don't feel comfortable with it, I'm sure the salon owner is going to support you. Stay at home until you feel you're good coming back to work.
Right.
And
my goal, as you said at the top, everything's changing moment to moment to moment to moment.
Yes.
So
and we will get through this, we will nourish each other, we will support each other, we will unite together, and, we'll come out of this on the positive side. Yet I ask everyone, let's just put our arms around each other, hold hands, virtually, if you will, and let's walk through this beauty industry and show the consumer how strong we are and how strong and united we can be as hairdressers, and how we will ensure that their safety is the most important. So Socialathon, that's what that story's about. It's all about raising money for those people, those hairdressers, our friends that are in need, those hairdressers. And I thank the Professional Beauty Association for what they're doing and creating that relief fund. I have spoken to some people that have gotten relief, and they were just in tears telling me, hey, it wasn't a lot of money, Sam, but it helped me put groceries on the table for a week. Imagine that, Ann. That's just hurts my heart to hear them even say that for a week. What are they going to do the next week?
Right, right. And the fact that they had a place to go to is so important too, that they had an association that supports them. Thank you for all you're doing. We'll be there at the Socialathon. We'll be there for those 12 hours. I'm going to just let you go and thank you from the bottom of my heart, Sam.
Thank you for being Modern Salon. I love you guys, and continue to do what you do for our industry, because you guys don't know it. A lot of the you got the magazines, the presses, and things. You guys just don't get enough credit for the support that you do for the industry. So from me and my team to you guys, we thank you. We appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing for us.
Thank you so much, Sam.
All right, my dear.